Summer Games Fest may have ended, but the SNK and Capcom hits keep on coming. In typical SNK fashion, like they always do, if you go on their Twitter page, you will see that about an hour ago, SNK dropped this tweet saying that a special DLC character development will be confirmed and details will be announced at EVO. So I want to break this down really quickly, but before we do that, of course, make sure to leave a like and a comment on this video. Subscribe if you haven't already either. Let's tap in. So first off, special DLC character development means that the character isn't created yet, but they're working on the character and that they'll let us know about the character. Similar to the announcement of the City of the Wolves trailer at EVO 2 years ago, it looks like we'll be getting some news this EVO about the character's development, but they could be a long ways off. Special DLC character means that we're getting an interesting DLC character, maybe something not of the norm. So after Summer Games Fest, Capcom's Street Fighter 6 directors Nakayama and Matsumoto were interviewed by Famitsu, which is obviously one of the best, gaming journalistic websites in all of history. They've been around for so long, and yeah, they got to sit down with these two directors and talk about the season 2 plans. They talked about Elena, they talked about Bison, as you can see some things, but what I'm more curious about is there's a section with our boy Terry Bogard and of course Mai Shiranui where they talk about those two characters' inclusion into Street Fighter 6. Now I don't know about you guys, but as you can see, this website is clearly in Japanese. My Japanese isn't the best, but shout outs to my homie Folly of Dreams. He had a great idea and was like, maybe we should take this interview and just push it into Google Translate Japanese to English. And honestly, I did that and it works out. I can see pretty clearly what's going on. So here you can see we have it right here, Google Translate it for your pleasure. I'm just gonna go through the parts about Terry and Mai in particular because I do think this could tie back to SNK's announcement. So the interviewer is the two lines, and then you can see Nakayama and Matsumoto as well giving their different answers. So let's hop in. And of course, let's start it off. I think a lot of people weren't expecting Terry and Mai Shiranui. Please tell us how you came to participate as a guest from Fatal Fury. 2 years ago, EVO 22 was held for the first time in a long time, and we talked about wanting to celebrate with SNK. So at that time, we made a poster with Cross. 2 posters were created with Capcom designers drawing SNK characters and SNK drawing Capcom characters. Of course, that's the big photo that you could have got if you attended EVO that year. The 2 different pictures with Shinkiro and Ogura-san both drawing their respective games on there. So there was already foreshadowing from that point on. Actually, we've been talking about collaborating since then. And exactly 2 years ago, we were talking with SNK saying, it would be great if this sparks something. From there, we started a discussion about what we could do with each other's work. We both wanted to inspire fighting games, and we wanted everyone to be interested in each other's titles. I myself am looking forward to the Fatal Fury City of the Wolves being released by SNK. And I want to create excitement similar to the heyday of fighting games, which is why we came up with this collaboration. So off rip, shout outs to both these guys. Like, this is the love I want to see. I love seeing fighting game companies just work together now. We're all in this together. Yes, there's different games. Yes, everyone wants to drive sales, but it's almost like a rising tides type thing, right? If one fighting game is doing really good, then we can get the other ones up there as well if we all work together. And this is just like beautiful, man. Music to my ears. I love what I'm seeing and I love what I'm reading right now. The interviewer says, looking at the reactions at Summer Games Fest 2024, seems like it was a great success. Will we see Capcom characters appear in SNK titles in the future? That's the big question right there. For this collaboration, he kindly lent us his character. Right now, we are in the process of doing what we can together, so I don't know yet, but I think there's a possibility. Speaking of the site, SNK came to the scene when we were doing the motion capture and voice recording for Terry. We even spent a whole day discussing the topic of what is a rising tackle originally. That is something I talk about, just having your ear to the wall, man. I really want to know what is the thought process of rising tackle. It is still one of the funniest moves in fighting game history and like doesn't make any sense. It works and it looks cool, but it just does not make any sense. So I would have loved to hear exactly what they were talking about. And who knows the answer? Nakayama says, even though we asked Capcom to help us in this time, they were quite cooperative with the production. Interviewer says, Terry and Mai Shiranui appear, but was there a reason you chose these two? I've wanted to emphasize the Fatal Fury in mind, and I thought Terry and Mai would be the ones to achieve that. They are old SNK staff at Capcom, and they're really putting their heart and soul into making it. Also, Takashi Nishima who made the original Street Fighter, was also involved in Fatal Fury, and I feel that the roots of both works are the same. Street Fighter and Fatal Fury are like brothers, and I think they're deeply connected. Oh, that makes me gush, man. Both games just working in tandem yet again. Yeah, for those who don't know, the original developer of Street Fighter 1 went on to SNK to create Fatal Fury, and the joke is that Fatal Fury 1 was actually made to be a competitor to Street Fighter 1, and in that case, Fatal Fury 1 does trump Street Fighter 1. It's a way better experience, but by the time Fatal Fury 1 came out, Street Fighter 2 had come out, I think, just a few months before it, so it's like, just a little bit too late. Regardless, yeah, this is beautiful. A lot of previous SNK workers from the original SNK works for Capcom now. I mean, we see it with Shinkiro, the artist, right? He was almost exclusively SNK in the 90s. Now he is exclusively for Capcom, even longer, which sounds funny to say because a lot of his work I associate more with SNK, but he's been with Capcom since like maybe 1999, 2000. There are probably many different interpretations, but Capcom asked SNK, this technique is like this, right? And it created it based on that. Each time we created a motion instruction manual saying, we want to create this kind of technique, and then expanded on the idea from there. So it looks like they were going through the movesets of Terry and Mai, which actually they both have quite varied movesets. You know, Terry Bogard, we know the typical attacks he usually has, but obviously in later games he gets some other ones, like he gets like fire kick, he gets power dunk at some point, he gets even different supers, right? And the same with Mai. I was actually thinking of making a video like that, so if you want to see a video of what I'm speculating on what their moves might be in Street Fighter 6 Season 2, let me know in the comments below if you would like that. But yeah, I love this. Yet again, getting more confirmation from SNK just on what moves should we add to these characters, what should we do with them in order to flesh them out completely in Street Fighter. In fact, Terry and Mai had not been decided yet. It feels like they started packing a lot of stuff in about 6 months or 2 after EVO 2 years ago. Ooh, this is a big one right here. Terry and Ken have a deep relationship, but do they have any special exchanges? That's something to look forward to as you play the game. Terry and Ken were created with strong awareness of their past interactions and relationship. Now, this is huge. This possibly means that Capcom vs SNK is canon and has been canon the whole time. Of course, that would connect so many different universes to each other, and just where does that fit exactly in the timeline between Street Fighter and KOF games? Definitely something to speculate and think about. So that means that the meme of Terry Bogard looking at Ken like Ken is all down bad and messed up and being like, yo bro, what the F happened, could legitimately happen in some of the win quotes at the matches. Like other characters, will you be able to become their disciples on the world tour? You can even take a 2-shot with your own avatar. Nakayama says, of course you can. We put a lot of effort into the story. So although I can't go into much detail, I think there will be some scenes that will make fans go, ah, this is it. Could you imagine just going to Southtown, meeting Terry Bogard by the basketball hoops, maybe even playing a game of one-on-one with him, talking to him, learning how to do a proper power wave or a proper rise and tackle, maybe seeing some other Easter eggs. We could see Andy and Joe just hanging out somewhere. Maybe you go to one of the bars in Southtown and like Duck King is there. Of course, I'm thinking about all this stuff that could potentially be, but I want to say right now, Season 2 for Street Fighter 6 is looking so damn good right now. Big shout outs again to these two gentlemen here for bringing this childhood dream to life. Now back to SNK's announcement, and the reason I wanted to tie things back here is because I think this special DLC character is going to be a certain blonde guy. Of course, I could be talking about the character that a lot of KOF fans have been requesting and wanting for so long, and that is Mr. Shin Woo, the character of the Ash Crimson, Elizabeth, Duolon friend group, who's the only person not in the game yet, and someone that people have been wanting, like I said, for a very long time. In fact, people have been speculating that if we did get a Season 3, he would be the character announced. However, looking at this image here, it seems like we're only getting one character for Season 3. Now, who wouldn't want Shenwu in the game? And of course, I think it's a great idea to put him in if he's the character, but I don't know if we announce him as a special DLC character. I think this special DLC character is going to be Street Fighter 6's own protagonist, Luke Sullivan. I know some people might not want to hear that. There might be some SNK heads that are not fans of Luke, and of course, there's some of the players in Street Fighter 6 who still isn't sold on Luke being the main character, but just hear me out. It looks like Capcom and SNK's friendship has been developing very fast, and the fact that we have already announced Terry and Mai, I can't help but think that SNK is going to be doing the same thing. And you know what? It's not a bad idea. Put Luke in this game. Not only is Luke a wise choice, but if you want to look at it in the grand scheme of things, KOF 15 is towards the end of its development. This is going to be the final season of the game. Why not put a character like Luke in here just to cap things off? I don't know, guys, but the fact that the person is labeled as a special DLC character, not saying that Shenwu isn't special or anything. Luke could be the wise choice here. You can bridge that gap even closer between Street Fighter and KOF players. Get them to try Luke out in this game. I would like to see how his Flash Knuckles would work, how some of his combos would be, to see just how his level 3 would be. Maybe have some banter with characters like Ralph, you know, banter with Shune as well. There's also K-Dash. A lot of interactions I would like to see, and I'm telling you guys, something feels special about this. This does not feel like an ordinary KOF character. If we're only gonna get one DLC character this season, as much as I would like Shin, I think the shill / commercial side of me understands the magnitude of adding Luke Sullivan to this game instead. Of course, let me know in the comments how you guys feel about this. Who do you want to see as this special DLC character for KOF 15? Is there any other characters on your mind? And we'll talk about it in the comments. Y'all can yell at me, y'all can say whatever y'all want, but let's just talk about it. Let's be cordial. That's gonna be it for me, guys. I gotta get to finish working on my next video, which is going to be a very, very fun one I did for this channel. Took a lot of editing, so I really hope you guys will appreciate it when it drops. I'm Rome himself, you've been great, and I'll see you next time.
That's all for now, fighters. But if you've enjoyed what you've seen, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Also, don't forget to follow Rome's social media pages down below. Take care, see you next time, and most importantly, thank you for watching!